lost it.
It's what, 15.8 left?
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's
maybe an inbound, but yeah. It's all good though. We can start though. I got it in the background anyway.
It's up to you, and it's up to you if you want to do the intro or you want me to do the intro. I have it up. If you don't have it up,
if you want, you can do it because I actually don't have it up like you said, so it'll be probably
sure.
easier.
Then I'll do it, and I guess we'll start at 9:54.
Yeah, bet.
All right. Okay, we're kind of synchronized. Have you been, man? You doing all right?
Good, chilling, just working like you. It's just work, be tiring and all that. I've been missing this because it was fun the very first episode. So.
Yeah. Did you only get one episode in?
Well, the NBA after the All-Star break, that was it. Yeah.
Damn, man, that sucks.
No, yeah. I mean, like if you're down to talk in a little minute, because I know we missed a lot. I just want to really talk about these playoffs because I'm really excited for these matchups. The Timberwolves and Nuggets is going to be low-key the best series, I think. I can see that easily going 7.
Yeah, let's save it for the show as we start right about. I guess we'll start now at the record. Do you see the recording clock? We'll start out 45. We'll start at 50, 150.
I got you.
All right.
Been sick all day in my eyes, man.
All right. Okay. Here we go. Every hour, every minute, every second, there's something new happening with your favorite pastime. Get caught up. All right. I guess I'll just tell him to start later at 2:15. Every hour, every minute, every second, there's something new happening with your favorite pastime. Get all caught up here on Pastimes on the Mic. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok. Send us any questions you want answered on the show by emailing us at pastimesonthemic@gmail.com. I am Dennis Toohey here alongside Nasir Fanfan, and we are here to talk about the NBA and the wild NBA postseason and how my Suns sadly set last Sunday night against the Minnesota Timberwolves. And your Knicks are still in it, and the game is still on. By the time this goes up, obviously, it'll be over.
Yeah.
5 seconds left in overtime, 110 to 106.
Yeah, it's looking like the Sixers got it, man. Maxey just out. I think he has 43 right now. Closing out, they got 5-point lead with 5 seconds left. I think they got it.
It happens, but man, this could be a massive momentum swing as the 76ers take Game 5, and now Game 6 is back in Philly. And Embiid called out the Philly fans after the Knicks took over Wells Fargo. And you have to think that the so-called passionate Philadelphia fans, you got to think they're going to show up and show out for this one in Game 6. This one could go 7. This one could go the gauntlet.
Easily can go 7, but I mean, who knew this was coming from Maxey? Who knew he was going to get that half-court 3-point shot to send it to OT? I mean, Brunson had a good look at the end. I thought he blew past Embiid for that layup. I think he just went too strong. It's a hell of a series. I mean, the Sixers, they were literally within the Eastern Conference Finals, a game away last year. They are they've been talked about as championship contenders teams. If the Knicks are going to be taken serious as a contending team, we gotta beat them. But this was just, it was a close game throughout. It was actually a really fun game. I'm a Knicks fan. My heart's broken anyway, but as a basketball fan, it was just great to watch. And now we're going to the Indiana Bucks game right now. Looking like Indiana's probably going to get the win tonight, most likely, because they have neither Dame or Giannis still. So it's looking like Pacers will most likely move on to the second round. I mean, this has been a crazy time for playoffs right now, especially with all these injuries. It feels just like the title is just wide open for every team, Like I don't want to speak down on your Suns, but like you just
Go
had
ahead.
you had KD go down, you had LeBron go down the other night, Steph Curry been out in Cancun, with all the memes and stuff. I mean, this is truly now these young guys are taking over, and it is exciting to watch, man.
Yeah, and speaking of young guys taking over, I assume you're going to keep on the Pacers Bucks. So I threw on Orlando, Cleveland, and
Yeah,
Paolo Banchero. What, his second year in the league, third year in the league,
I
and
believe.
he's already leading a team into the playoffs and into a duel with one of the more highly touted rosters in the Cleveland Cavaliers. This was a team I kind of feel like they're the Eastern version of the Sacramento Kings, where you just feel like they're on the up and they're a step away. Like you feel like there's something there, and you're just waiting for it to click. And yeah, so 2022 was his first season, so I guess this was his third season,
Well, I think it
second
was
season.
his because he was rookie of the year for 2023. I think.
Oh, okay.
I think this is his. Well, either way, this is his first time in the playoffs. I
Yes, you're
think,
right.
unless they
You're
did
right.
make it last year, I might be mistaken. Either way.
No, they lost in the play-in, I think,
Oh, okay.
or they
But
just missed out on the play-in.
yeah. So like either way, he's sewing up for like his first sewing against what should have been an experienced Cleveland Cavaliers team. I was not expecting this to be this close. I mean, Orlando's when it's striking distance, only down 3 in the fourth. Like series is tied 2-2. This is a series I was not expecting to pay attention to like that. I thought Cleveland Loki had it in the bag. Like I thought Orlando maybe could get one game, but no, they're tough, man. They're tough.
Yeah, and they're one of those teams. They're kind of the antithesis of my Suns, where they're just a team of like those kind of guys that aren't great, but like try really hard. And I think
Yes.
that's something that just gets overlooked, and it's something that your Knicks team has made. It really, it's backbone of just trying. And I know that sounds crazy at face value, but that really is what it is. Just trying. You'd
No,
be shocked at how many teams just fold. And I saw that in game one of that Pacers series. The Pacers should have swept the Bucks.
right.
That game one, dude, they looked like a PAL team. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but they really did. The Pacers put in zero effort. They were trailing at the half, and they didn't even attempt to care in the second. It was an embarrassment.
I
And then
think
game two, the pendulum swung the other way, and the Bucks were like that. So I honestly didn't know what to make of that series, and now with Dame out, forget it. It's over. But
yeah,
there
I mean
likely is going to be over.
yeah. No, it's definitely I think tonight's where Indiana goes to the next round. I think one thing to be aware of is like I think Indiana again, this is their first time in the playoffs, at least with this roster, excuse me. Tyler Reese Halliburton leading them boys. Pascal Siakam was the only one ready for
Oh,
that game one, obviously, because
spectacular.
he's a championship, player. He knew what was at stake. I think Indiana kind of just, went in there expecting to get a W because Giannis was not playing. They
Mhm.
forgot Damian Lillard is a multiple All-Star. Damian Lillard can get it done on his own. He was leading those teams in Portland. So I mean that's what kind of happened. But they realized what team they are. They realized that they had multiple advantages against the Bucks. They basically swept them in the regular season. So yeah, for Indiana, you gotta go in with confidence against this Bucks team. You have shown time and time again that you can beat them, especially when it comes to their backcourt defense. They have not shown they can guard Halliburton or someone like Pascal Siakam with that speedy that speedy like forward that no one's really like being able to stop him in the paint. I mean, it's just Siakam's making it look easy for them. And like as a Knicks fan, this is if we get past the second round, but I am hopeful against the Philly matchup. But Indiana is a team that's going to scare you too. All these teams are like surprisingly or shockingly effective because you look at like the teams in the playoffs right now. No like high caliber team has a roster with more than 2 All-Stars, which is insane to me. You look at the Western Conference, you look at OKC, I think they only had one All-Star in SGA. They swept Pelicans. You look at the Timberwolves. I think Anthony Edwards was the only All-Star for them this year. Or maybe Rudy Gobert got in it. We got to look back.
Maybe.
But either way, like Jokic, he was the only All Star for Denver. He got the gentleman sweep against the Lakers. I mean, these are just teams who have been constructed all with great rosters. We can say Julius Randle was here, it'd be better or not. But either way, we have great players as a Knicks organization, and just like overall, all these teams. I'm talking about like Indiana, the Timberwolves, the Nuggets. Like these are teams that have a great starting five that can easily get you at least 10 points a game, or they can carry you throughout a series. These sidekicks are really showing up for these certain teams, and this is why I think why I think the Timberwolves are probably the most underrated team in the West right now.
Mhm.
I think the fact that Karl Anthony Towns coming back is going to be a big threat, especially with the two big men line up against Jokic. I'll be interested to see that matchup. But going over just the entire playoff tree of what's been happening, has there been anything that has shocked you, um, like in these games? Because I know there's no one thing I know everyone was sort of surprised that Minnesota would get the sweep on the Suns, but yeah, I mean the Suns we've been talking not trash, but we've been talking about how this Suns team has not looked good. I mean, they went in as a 6 seed anyway without a reliable point guard. This is something I've been harping on them. They have not had a point guard to really lead that offense. But you let me know if there's anything that has really shocked you throughout these playoffs.
Yeah, yeah, I really was. This is going to sound kind of crazy to people, but I wasn't really too surprised by how my Suns landed. I really wasn't. Um, I had written a sports column for a company that no longer has their blog up, but I had written a sports column after the Bradley Beal trade, after the Vogel hiring, like right at the Suns offseason. I covered the Suns all of last season for this company. And I was not positive about it at all. I didn't I wasn't thrilled about the Vogel hiring. I was like, okay, fine. Yeah. Who else would it have been? Obviously, Monty Williams had to go. So I was like, all right, fine. It's not terrible, but I don't love it. It is what it is. I was pretty indifferent. The Bradley Beal trade, I hated. I hated
Right.
getting Yusuf Nurkic as well for the exact reasons why we lost, which is I don't think Yusuf Nurkic at this point in his career could be the best center on a championship team. Maybe ever. I don't think maybe he ever had that potential.
I will give
Although
him
2019, the Blazers did make the Western Conference Finals, fine. And I don't think Yusuf Nurkic is bad and Ayton was terrible. I understand all of that.
Nurkic tries. I will say that he
Yeah,
tried
and
for the Suns.
I
He
give him
tried
all the
very
credit.
hard for the Suns. I don't think he's not. I wouldn't say he's one of the reasons that they were in their loss.
Uh,
He's someone I think can get boards very easily, but they just didn't have
you
help
know,
anyway. They're very small. KD, he's we get that he's 7 foot, but he can't. He's not a power forward. He's
you're
not.
right. There's that. I mean, the biggest reason why the Suns lost is really they they couldn't rebound. They were
Yeah,
out rebounded 185 to 130 in the season series, and that's kind of in spite of the fact that both teams shot similarly. As a team from the free throw line, the Timberwolves were 86%, the Suns were 83%. 3% difference isn't drastic one way or the other. 3-point percentage, 36.5 for the Suns. The Timberwolves were 36.6. So
that's
virtually
surprising.
identical.
Be better at the 3 point line. Well, I mean, you're going to
Yeah,
miss Grayson Allen, of course.
of course. Yeah, but that doesn't change the fact that we would have lost. Field goal percentage, 47.7 for the Timberwolves. We were 46.5.
Yeah,
All right, so then what happened? Well, we attempted 104 threes. They attempted 134 threes. The Timberwolves attempted 342 field goals. We attempted 303. So that difference of 55 rebounds, those possessions, is why we lost. And our team couldn't out rebound the Nuggets last year. Our team couldn't out rebound the Bucks in the 21 finals. Our team couldn't out rebound the Mavericks when we lost to them in Game 7. You know, hilariously so. It was like
I mean,
horrific. So it's the same problem every single year. And I knew at this point in his career, what are we expecting out of Yusuf Nurkic? It's not through any fault of his own. It's just this is life. This happens. And it's kind of not talked about that the Suns have really never had good centers aside from little pockets here and there. Like going back to the 70s, Neil Walk, Alvin Adams was pretty good for a bit. And then like Mark West was okay. Larry Nance kind of masqueraded as a center. Larry Nance Sr. masqueraded as a center. Tom Chambers at the very end of his career, but he was always an athletic power dunker. So without athleticism, kind of what good is he?
yeah, I mean, I
And
think
that's in the 90s. And then,
for power forwards.
yeah, and then Amari Stoudemire was a good center, and then that's kind of it. Like Marcin Gortat had moments, but he wasn't great. DeAndre Ayton had moments, but he wasn't great, and that's kind of where it is. And they never addressed it. So
Yeah.
Am I surprised that my Suns got eliminated? No, because the team we went up against is the exact opposite. They have two all-star caliber centers. Karl Anthony Towns was an all-star. As was Anthony Edwards this year. So they actually did have two All-Stars, as did the Clippers. They had Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, neither of which I thought should have had it, but whatever. So, like, this is just what happens. And in the regular season, I think people, myself included, got tricked into believing the Suns could have beaten them because we swept them in the regular season 4-0. But the postseason is way different. It's played way differently. It's strategically different. It's officiated different.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately what happened. As far as the Bradley Beal thing goes, a lot of people, I think, are just negligent as to who Bradley Beal is. He's an injury-prone player on a bad team when he was with the Wizards who could take 50 shots a game. That's being hyperbolic, but you get the point.
Yeah,
and naturally, you're going to make 26, 27 points per game. When you're the only option on a bad team, that's going to happen.
Well,
I think people got tricked into saying that this was a failed super team. It's what super team? The Suicide Squad?
Yeah, they self-destruct. So the thing is, again, because like looking back, the Wizards, they low-key had a great playoff series like back in the day, against Boston in the semis.
They had moments, yeah.
Here's the thing about that point, like to your point. Again, this is why I think Phoenix desperately needed a point guard. I have no idea why they didn't do anything during the before the trade deadline. No one got Andre Drummond, which I'm still surprised about.
Yeah.
You could have got so much offensive boards from him. Made no sense to me. You go into the season thinking that you're fine without a point guard. You do not need a all-star point guard. You need a facilitator. That's what you need. Like you need someone who can get you at least a good 8 assists with a good turnover ratio. I mean that's what they have not had. Like Bradley Beal works best when he worked with John Wall, a top 5 point guard during his time when they played together. He works better when he is like works off the ball. And Devin Booker, he creates his own shots, but he had to force his way to make it up to I think he had over 40 or close to 50 that game just for them to not
49.
even. Yeah, he had 49, damn near 50, just for them not even to crack. They lost by double digits that game, didn't they?
We lost by 12.
Yeah, exactly. He like imagine scoring 50, basically 50, and you lose by a dozen. Like that's insane to me, and because this is what I mean. You don't have any facilitators to where like there's no reason why 3 guys who average like Beal, Durant, and Booker, like no question, so at least average over 25 points each, easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's 75 points right there.
Yeah.
So if you don't have a good point guard who can facilitate the offense, who can get Durant the wide open looks, who can get Booker wide open looks, so he doesn't have to play all throughout the first and second quarter. He played the entire game, it looked like, just for them to not even be close. So yeah, I mean, it's the importance of team roles, and this is why I'm like going hard on teams like the Nuggets, Timberwolves, Knicks. Like these teams, they come off like they're complete. Brad Stevens won the Executive of the Year. They have probably the best starting 5 in terms of the NBA for the Boston Celtics. They've had the best starting five because each of their starting positions is excellent at their role, but not to a point where they're all stars. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's just the Suns that like when you got three all stars and then none of them are able to like push you over the hump or get you a game against a team that has not even proven themselves as a playoff team. I mean, they got knocked out first round last year by the Denver Nuggets, and now here they are looking like they're about to go, like they can go to the finals. I mean, it's insane. Like Kevin Durant got swept by Anthony Edwards. And it's not even like Anthony Edwards was averaging 30 every game. There were games Anthony struggled, and it was carried by their defense. And this is a funny poll I saw on Instagram that NBA players had actually put in. They said the most overrated player is Rudy Gobert. This was by like the NBA, like this is NBA vote, like the players voted on this. They said Rudy Gobert is the most overrated player. The Timberwolves right now are the best team's interior defense because Rudy Gobert does not allow anything in the paint.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're winning these games. That's why they cannot score. That's why Yusuf Nurkic cannot get a single rebound because Gobert helps control it, and then you got someone like Karl Anthony Towns to help you on the perimeter as well as another body in the paint. But that's something that we got to talk about more with Karl Anthony Towns because I think as a center, he takes too many jump shots. Because if he goes to the paint more, he can get, the opposing team in foul trouble by just using his body trying to get to the basket. But I mean, this team excites me. The Denver Nuggets, Timberwolves are going to be exciting. I mean, we haven't even mentioned the other matchups like the Mavs versus Clippers is going to be a hell of a series. I think that's going to 7. And I think the Clippers are going to pull that out somehow without Kawhi. I think the team is better without him when they don't depend solely on one player. And even if Kawhi comes back, he needs to take a lesser role. But just looking throughout these playoffs. I mean, even right now, Orlando has the lead on Cleveland while we're recording this. So it's insane right now, man. It is a great time for basketball. Like we are truly at a time where we can say any team can win. I know the Denver Nuggets are the favorite, obviously, for last year's contenders, but I mean, these teams looking like they're hungry. Like OKC, like youngest team, they just swept Pelicans. We're barely talking about the East. It's just the powerhouse of the playoffs, especially in the West. It is a crazy time, man.
Yeah. I mean, it really is nuts. It really is nuts. This is the kind of stuff fans hope for and dream for, especially in a league like the NBA where there's 16 playoff teams. Man, this is what you want. This is what you want. And I mean, even though the Pelicans got swept, that game 1 was a classic.
Yeah.
That was an excellent game to watch. So,
I mean, close.
Yeah. That's just what happens, man. Sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles. And man, I don't know. I think out of all the teams that are out in the first round, like I think the Suns, there was that report that came out that Kevin Durant supposedly wasn't happy with the offense. And people like, is KD going to want out again? Tyus Jones is a free agent who I think would fit the Suns perfectly.
Yeah.
If we signed him, and I understand that we're in cap hell right now in the second apron and all that, but at this point, you're in for a penny, you're in for a pound, you might as well just sign him.
He's very cheap. I'm sure you can get him for very cheap.
Yeah, less than 20 a year.
Yeah, 15 million maybe.
Yeah. I would say like between that 12 to 17 range.
But he earned it. He's a very good facilitator.
Sure, and he doesn't turn the ball over and whatnot. But he's an unrestricted free agent. Like, yeah, I'll take him in a heartbeat.
Yeah, just someone to like help with the offense.
Yeah,
We
need a center. Maybe I'm crazy, but I have to say I like Luka Garza from Minnesota. He doesn't play a lot at all, but he was good in college, and when he gets the opportunity to play, he's actually really good, especially at rebounding, and that's all we need.
Right.
I don't need Wilt Chamberlain. Like, I just need competent.
I think you're more
depth.
a needs for a power forward. I would say go for a power forward.
Yeah, that's fine. The only thing is Yusuf Nurkic gets hurt so often, and we had a healthy season from him. His healthiest season since 2017. I just don't know if we're getting that again.
Yeah.
So you need the insurance policy. And Bull, as fun as he is to watch when he's having a good game, I'm not trying to sound crass, but he is a gimmick.
Yeah.
Like he is. I'm not trying to hate on the guy, but he's. I don't know. I guess he's kind of like when Bartolo Colon was on the Mets, and it kind of was a bit of a sideshow.
No, I mean you can literally compare him to his dad with Muggsy Bogues. Like,
Right.
I mean,
Like there's just some guys that are just, for a lack of better words, a gimmick, like Taco Fall or even
yeah,
Boban Marjanovic.
and you see where they are now. But I mean, Bobo, I think
He's not bad. He's good enough to get minutes. Like I'm not saying he's trash, but I'm just saying like for what our team needs, I think he's more of an offensive player than a defensive player. And I
yeah,
think that we can do better in that regard. And as you had mentioned earlier, man, Andre Drummond, I mean, he is a designated rebounder. That is his job.
yeah.
That's his job, a designated rebounder. And that's exactly what the Suns need. But I doubt we're going to do that. We have, after this year, we have one first round pick until 2031.
I believe
That's our first
seven,
round pick.
you get like the 17th pick or 19th, I believe.
This year, I think we have the 22nd overall.
Oh, okay. So like a little later in the first round. So I mean, you're probably going.
And we don't have a second because Drew Eubanks. Drew Eubanks cost us a second round pick because of tampering. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
I love how every single guy knows where they're going an hour into free agency, but we're the one team to get caught with freaking tampering. Nice. Thank you, NBA. Not fixed. Whatever.
I mean, like it's all hypocrisy. I mean, like
yeah. I mean, you guys got screwed on that too.
Yeah, I mean, bro, who was the NBA player got banned for like sports betting?
Oh, Michael Porter Jr.'s brother, Jonte Porter.
Oh, my point is like they're still advertising DraftKings, so I mean, it's hypocrisy anyway. So you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and people, by the way, I understand he bet, but I actually looked into it. The betting lines that they were talking about were absurd. They were like over 1.5 over a half 3-point made.
Oh, that he makes?
Yeah. Like they're and people are like, how are so many people taking this? You mean a scrub who if he plays 5 minutes, it's gonna hit?
That's crazy.
So like to me, it's like wait a minute. So a bad team, the Toronto Raptors, has a scrub on it, and we're saying an over under 2.5 rebounds. So if they're playing a good team, you know it's going to hit because he's going to be playing garbage time.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why. Oh no, the sports betting company lost money. Oh wow, it's not like people will get crippling gambling addictions and throw their whole lives away. And you benefit off that
money with the deal.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. They're losing money too. That's the problem.
I'm supposed to feel bad for those parasites, mosquitoes on society. Yeah. Okay.
No, it's like.
Whoops. No tears here.
So you'll still see me in Atlantic City at the DraftKings bar a couple of weeks later, soon.
Yeah, I mean, that being said, smoke them if you got them. But
as long as they're playing within my needs, that's all I ask for.
Right, you're right.
Can't be, man.
I gotta say, as much as I think people are piling on the Suns, and I've been piling on my Suns, and we don't have a future, and there's a lot wrong with it. I get all of that. Another team who I'm very curious about what they're going to do in the offseason is the Pelicans.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm not going to say Zion's a bust.
You get rid of Zion.
But he certainly is disappointing.
No, you get rid of Zion and you get back a good haul. That's the truth at this point. That's what you need to accept. He has missed, 2 postseasons or at least one. Like
he has never played in the postseason. He has never played a postseason game.
So, yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm being real. I'm being very real. If I were the GM of the Pelicans, I just say cut your loss. You did it with Anthony Davis. You got a good haul, and you were able to go to the playoffs, so you just got to do it again. You know, they're a great team. Like, it's funny they draft great power forwards, but it's just the health. And, it's like at this point, you got to be real. Can Zion really commit? Is he really going to play a season where he can play at least over 70 games? I don't think so. I mean, like he's not even 25 yet, and this is like happening to him. So I would rather just cut my losses and get back a good haul because I know what I can get back. Zion Williams' box office, you will get a first round pick and definitely a star for him. But I'm if I'm the Pelicans, I'm thinking to myself, we're a real team. You know, when are you going to sew up and be real with us? You know what I mean? Because I understand that. I forget what injury he even had that like sidelined him for the playoffs. But I mean, like it's the same problem. It's his weight. We know what it is, but like he doesn't want to take care of that. It's going to be a continuous problem. So I mean, at this point, yeah, I would cut my losses, trade Zion, and then just either rebuild and try to like focus or try to really maintain my roster because if you look at it, you are the eighth seed without your star player for the majority of the season. You know, so I mean, um, just you gotta really think about what is your future. You know, you still have CJ McCollum. I don't know if this is his last year or if he's on maybe 2 years of his contract. I would have to double check that. But I mean, do you dump the vet like CJ McCollum to a playoff team who wants him who's going to want that contract, and do you just move Zion? I think that's the correct answer. I think you know who your main star is. It is Ingram. He is your star you build around.
Yeah, and I'm hearing a lot of people say that they think that Ingram is actually going to get traded.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
it's between them two, but I mean, we understand Zion's box office, but what has he done?
am I crazy to think that maybe they should trade both?
No, I mean, like, again, this is like if they go into rebuild at this point, it might be what they have to do. I mean, like, this kid has not. He's what? This is going to be his fourth year in the next season.
He was drafted in 19. So 1920 was his first year.
So I'll be 4 years. I see maybe five if that.
Yeah, it always throws me off because I think of years, but it's actually seasons. So like I think, well, it's been 5 years, but it's actually, I guess,
Yeah, I mean,
1920, 2021, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3,
he's played
4. So
five
yeah.
seasons so far. His next season will be his sixth.
Yeah,
Like
and it
this,
sucks because he was mostly healthy this season.
yeah. No, this was his best season by far. But I mean, like,
I guess now is what you strike it when the iron is hot. But the only thing is, these GMs, like, it's probably easier to trade Brandon Ingram because Zion is so injury prone. And that doesn't mean I'm not saying Brandon Ingram is AC Green himself. He gets hurt all the time too.
yeah.
So, like, what are you gonna do?
No, it's the lesser of two evils at this point for them.
Yeah, I'm not sure what what their future is or even where those guys can go. Although I have to say, I could see maybe Portland being a good fit for Brandon Ingram, but I don't know how teams like to trade in conference or not.
No, they've done it. I mean, look at the Celtics and the Celtics and the
In the
Bucks.
Bucks.
Yeah, I mean,
Oof. Yeah, I'm sure the Bucks really would make that trade again, losing Drew Holiday.
they regret that like crazy because they saw the opportunity for Dame. But I mean, again,
Yeah.
like you look at the teams who's really leading in the playoffs, they only got one All Star. Like again, Denver, OKC. I don't think Pascal was even an All Star this year for Indiana. So I mean, it's like
I just had it up.
it's
No, he wasn't. He
yeah,
wasn't,
Pascal was
surprisingly.
All-Star this year. I
Scotty
mean,
Barnes was.
yeah,
Oh,
because he got the replacement
okay.
for Julius Randle. But I mean, yeah, I mean these teams are selling out with their role players and just I don't know. It looks like do you think it's an overreaction to go into rebuild mode if you're the Pelicans, or do you think you give it one more year, see where Zion's at?
I don't think they really have to go full rebuild because I think there's talent there. I think Herb Jones is really good, man.
No, he's an excellent 3-and-D guy. They want a new center though. I know Valanciunas is great.
Yeah, I like Valanciunas,
That's what
but
you used to get for the Suns. That's what you used to get for the Suns, honestly.
I would take him. I love that dude.
Yeah.
I love that dude.
Had 20 boards, like he was feasting against OKC.
He was. The only thing with him is the defense.
Yeah, he's not a shot blocker, but he's a good offensive rebounder.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, names. I'm trying to see who else is on that roster. They
Oh,
have guys. They're a deep roster, man. You have Larry Nance Jr. I think Dyson Daniels. I mean, he's had moments where I've thought he's pretty good.
he's young. I think he's going to be a good player.
Yeah, Alvarado, I like, but kind of like weirdly, kind of like the Allen Iverson thing, where he gets a lot of steals, but he's actually not a good defender.
Nah, I mean, like,
He tries. He tries. Like
nah,
he does put in the effort, but there are times where he can be abused, and he was abused by OKC early on in that playoff round.
yeah.
But he's not bad. Like they have a lot of guys that aren't bad. Cody Zeller, he's not terrible. Trey Murphy, I like.
Trey Murphy's a good young one. Nicholas Alexander Walker, I think his name is on that team.
Nikhil, yeah.
Heel, but yeah, if you're the Pelicans, I think like you really gotta like think about your future with Zion at this point because again, this is his 5th year. He's damn near a vet at this point, and he's played, I think, under 200 games, if I'm not mistaken. Definitely under 200 within 5 seasons because I know he missed one regular season. I think that was the 2022, but yeah. But looking at these other teams, because we barely touched about the West. It seems like we were talking about. I mean, we barely touched the East because we were talking about the West so much. With the Pels and Phoenix Suns. Because I really want to like mention like because the game right now with Orlando and Cleveland. Like Orlando's down 1 with a minute left. Like imagine if Orlando gets this lead up against Cleveland. Like Cleveland is about to be exposed. I want to see what Cleveland does this offseason if they get knocked out the first round. But that's again, it's still early. I want to see the series, but I mean, like Cleveland, like they were on pace to be the 2nd seed, and then they dropped down all the way to 4th by the end of the season.
They're just such a streaky team.
Yeah,
they just are.
Donovan Mitchell's a streaky player.
I was gonna say, and that's indicative. Donovan Mitchell's indicative of that.
Yeah.
And he's another guy, like, it's kind of not a well-kept secret that he's not going to re-sign with them.
No.
So, I don't know if they just straight-up trade him this offseason while they have, quote-unquote control over the contract.
This is his last year of the contract. Like, he can opt out if he wants to.
Yeah, this upcoming season is going to be his last year of the deal.
So, I mean, like, he definitely, I think he wants to go to the Knicks because, again.
Yeah, you hear a lot of that.
Because, he's from New York, and then, like, we tried very hard to trade for him last year. I think it just didn't go through. But, I mean, like, everyone's so focused on next season because, like, again, this is going to be a big off season. But the playoffs just started, bro. And, I mean, it's just we didn't even talk about our own like finals predictions because I don't know who you got for the NBA finals.
All right, I'll say it. Timberwolves versus Knicks.
I wanted that too. I want that too, bro. I want that so bad. I want to see Anthony Edwards at the Garden go crazy.
I have absolutely.
Dream, but I hope that comes true. I was telling my friend deadass, like I was like, yo. My dream is Knicks versus Wolves, because that would be some like throwback 2000s like Kevin Garnett versus Latrell Sprewell and them boys. Like that'd be that kind of throwback. I know it never happened, but I'm saying like that'd be the energy,
Yeah, two tough teams going at it.
2 very physical teams that will go at you on the offensive board. Like the reason they win is because the offensive boards. Like the reason the Knicks lost, I think tonight was. They had the fewest offensive boards they had throughout the entire series. So, I mean, that's like you were talking about earlier. Hard work gets you the W. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's about getting that extra board, like giving on the floor, diving for that loose ball. I mean, that's what's going to win you games. That's why the Knicks have been able to take advantage of Philadelphia with the offensive glass. But, I mean, yeah, man, like that will be an exciting matchup. We got to see if the Timberwolves are ready to take on Nikola Jokic, because this is Anthony Edwards' test. I think it's going to be interesting, especially matchups. Who do you got? Who do you think is going to guard Anthony Edwards majority of that playoff series? Because I'm hearing Aaron Gordon is going to be his primary defender from like analytics.
Yeah, but if you put Aaron Gordon on him, you're going to put what? Jokic is going to guard Karl Anthony Towns? Yeah, okay. I love Jokic, and I know what the stats say. He sucks on defense.
Yeah.
I watched him against the Lakers, and I mean, he put in no effort.
No, that's Jokic, man. He'll get you 30,
Oh
10.
yeah, I'm not saying like, oh, but Jokic is overrated or whatever. Like, no.
He'll get you 30, 10, and 10 jogging.
Yeah, who cares? But what I mean is like, it's not like guys were like terrified of Jokic being on them.
Yeah.
You know, like he is a very lackadaisical player. But Karl Anthony Towns could really make you pay. So I would guess you want to put Gordon on Karl Anthony Towns, and I guess that would mean KCP would guard Edwards because Jamal Murray can't guard Edwards.
KCP, he's too old.
Who do they have?
KCP, he's a good
Michael Porter Jr.
No,
they don't have anybody to guard.
You would have Aaron Gordon, so maybe you can put Michael on Cat just for like height wise. But I mean, Gordon, I think, is their best defender who could possibly slow down Cat. Excuse me, I was like dealing with a cold these couple of days.
Oh, dude, it's okay. Do you want to go grab some water?
No, other minute. We'll do like you want to cut it off at like 15 minutes because like I've got time. Because I would have to go like downstairs, get my cup, refill my cup. We can do like 9 minutes. I'm just chilling right now.
Okay.
But
yeah,
thank you. Though.
No problem. Man, I don't know. That's a good question. The Edwards thing, because Aaron Gordon. Yeah, man, I don't know.
It's going to be interesting with these matchups because, like, one of the reasons, like you were saying, got outboarded. So we got to see how they can match up with Cat and Gobert. Like, Gobert didn't even finish the game against Phoenix, and they still won by double digits. So this is a scary team, man.
Yeah, and I'm curious about what the Lakers are going to do in the offseason.
I think I don't think they're going to do anything too aggressive. I think people are saying they're going to push for Dame. I do not think they have the assets.
God, no.
They do not have the assets to push for Dame because I don't know if Dame's on an expiring contract or something. They either are going to give D'Angelo Russell the contract extension, which he's probably not going to get from there anyway, because again, like I don't know, with the Lakers, it feels like, I mean, for one, the Nuggets just had they just handed it to them throughout the entire series. They really could have got the sweep easily. They really could have got that sweep. It was just not for if it wasn't for Anthony Davis heroics, for like Anthony Davis has been the unsung hero throughout that first round. But I mean, man, what the Lakers are going to do next year, I have no idea. I think we'll see what happens. They got the 17th pick. Are they going to waste it on Bronny James? We shall see. I mean, like Bronny,
has he declared for the draft?
He officially declared through Instagram, but he's still up and down about it. That's what LeBron said in his post game. But he has declared for the draft. I mean, I would not be surprised if he gets taken in the first round by the Lakers or a second round pick. So I mean, we shall see. I mean, everyone knows LeBron wants to play with his son, and it's so. This is why I don't like certain media or whatever. I hate they always ask LeBron this question: are you going to retire after the season? He wants to play with his son. He's going to play with his son. That's his goal. Yeah. That's always been his goal. I don't think like that's going to change. I think like he's going to get at least 1 to 2 seasons with his son. I think that's LeBron's goal. He's definitely going. Another thing is I want to calm people's worries. I do not think he's going to leave LA at all. He's going to finish his career in LA. I think he's happy just living there. I think he's good. Finishing his career over by there. His family's happy living over there. So I cannot see him moving anywhere. The Lakers can try their best to improve. They get with the limited assets they got, but at this point, I mean, they are what they are. So can LeBron get another chip with them? I doubt it, but we got to see what they can do in the offseason.
Yeah, I'm curious about what they did. I'm curious about what the Warriors did too. Because I kind of, part of me thinks,
blow it up.
If Bronny wasn't a factor, part of me would think LeBron would try to force his way to Golden State.
Play with Chris Paul, maybe, but I mean,
Play with Chris Paul, Steph Curry, Clay, and Draymond.
he would have to trade. Well, either
You'd have to trade Kuminga and a few firsts, as well as maybe some other assets, some
I can
other
see
players.
one possibility with the Lakers and Golden State. There have
But
been
I don't.
rumors that that LeBron wants to play with Draymond Green. I can see that trade happening, but again, we gotta see what assets. Like, it's like maybe what they can happen is they can sign D'Lo to an extension, get a contract sign and trade deal with Golden State because maybe get D'Lo back to Golden State. I don't know, but we'll see, man. Because for Golden State, uh, they're in a strange loop. Like it's funny. The year they won the championship back in 2022 is probably one of the more forgettable ones in terms of championships in their run. I'm not saying in history, but in their run,
Yeah.
that was probably one of their most forgettable like championship runs because like that was against an experienced Celtics team. That was just experience at the end of the day really helps. And they got rid of Jordan Poole, which I still think to this day was a terrible trade. Jordan Poole isn't like he ain't gonna put you over the hump, but he did work best in that system. So uh, he worked best in that system.
Yeah, I definitely think he got scapegoated.
Yeah, no, he helped. He
You
was
know,
the second best player on that finals run, if not Andrew Wiggins' defense. But yeah,
yeah, oh yeah, I'd say Poole was the third best behind Wiggins and Curry.
yeah,
Curry, what Wiggins did defensively was outstanding,
exactly, yeah,
so I can't take that away from him. But I do think people kind of forget how good Jordan Poole was that year. He should have won Most Improved Player. I cannot believe anybody who voted John Morant that year, they don't know anything about ball.
yeah. No, I
Because
mean,
John Morant, you're comparing a second overall pick to a guy who was out of the league.
yeah,
I mean, it's the spirit of the award was just tarnished, and now who won it this year? Wasn't it Maxey who won it this year? And like Kobe White, kind of like the same thing. Kobe White was an afterthought. Now,
he was
I mean,
balling.
he really
I
stepped
think
up for
DiVincenzo
Chicago.
was off a couple minutes too. That's what's crazy for the
Yeah,
award.
and I would have said DiVincenzo the same thing.
No, but
And he's
Maxi,
another one. Didn't he play every single game, but didn't have enough minutes?
yeah. Well, I think
What?
because like what happened is since he got moved to the starting position since the
So
injuries, but that's what
stupid.
happened. But I mean, it's
That's so
just
stupid.
it's crazy. Like these statistics, they go down to the letter with certain things. Like
Yeah.
it's just disappointing because he like there's a lot of award races that are like very close. So we kind of set our predictions. Like I mean, I didn't say my official NBA Finals prediction because I do want the Timberwolves and Knicks, but if I'm being generally honest in my head, who I might see, if I'm being realistic, Nas, Denver Celtics maybe,
Okay. I have no faith in Celtics.
right?
None.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say that, but I mean, like, I think Joe Mazzulla is that, or I think Joe Mazzulla is the coach, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe Mazzulla is a coach to where he is too lax at times, and I think like he's going to think that the Knicks aren't going to be ready because I still do think we're going to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. Um, I think we will get this game in Game 6 at Philly. I think we can close that game out. I think we're tired of playing with them. I think Indiana is going to hurry up and close out Milwaukee so that we can have this series against them. But I mean, like in my head, I can easily see Denver Celtics. But my hope and what I think, low key, a small chance could happen. Timberwolves and Knicks. I want that to happen though. I would love for that to happen.
Yeah. The only thing with the Celtics that makes me push back on it is if the game is close in the last 2 minutes, they'll find a way to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory.
Yeah,
Jason Tatum's clutch stats are abysmal. Just at times it's like when they have the ball, they're just dying to throw it away as a team.
yeah. They
Dumb
play very fast.
decisions. They
You know who
just
they remind me of?
they just lose it. It's like watching a bad bullpen in baseball. It's like you're just waiting for something wrong to happen, and something wrong always happens.
You know
So
who they remind me of?
I'm
Not on
sorry.
this. No, you know who they remind me of, but not on this level.
Who?
They kind of remind me of I think it was the 2019 Rockets with James Harden and Chris
Oh yeah,
Paul, the second seed. They could have won that game to Game 7 against the Warriors because I think no, the Rockets were the first seed that year, and they had versed the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. This was when they had
You're
KD.
thinking of 2018 when they had
Oh,
Chris
yeah.
Paul.
Yeah, but I'm talking about when the Rockets had that first seed, they clinched the first seed, and they sold against the Western Conference Finals against the Golden State Warriors. This is when KD joined them. I think this was either 2019 or 2020. I think 2019 though. This was just when, yeah, this was when Toronto won the championship. I think.
Yeah, 2019. But that Western Conference Finals that year was Blazers Warriors.
Oh, so it might be either the year earlier or after. Either way, it was the
Yeah.
Chris Paul and James Harden led Rockets. But my point
Yeah, I
is,
get what you're saying.
my point is they're a team that relies heavily on fast-paced offense, three-point shots, and trying to cut to the basket.
Mhm.
We gotta like slow them down. That is the key. Like the reason I think Miami won is because they slowed down like the Celtics, because the Celtics will be lax at certain points, especially during like the first half of games, in which I noticed. So we gotta see. I think it will be a fantastic matchup, Boston and Knicks. I think, bro, like
That'd be
just
awesome. Great
no,
to watch.
I'm imagining you're probably not even going to be able to hear the game over the chants from the audience. Like you probably won't be able to hear the game on the TV because that's how loud they can get sometimes. And this is TD Garden versus MSG. Forget about it.
Yeah.
That's if.
And
That's if.
New York and Boston fans do not like each other. I'm a
I don't like
Yankees fan.
Boston. I don't like Boston.
Yeah. And it looks like the Bucks surprisingly have a 5-point lead going into the half, but
Yeah. We'll see
I
what
don't know, man. No Lillard, no Dame. I don't know how they hold on to this. I mean, I gotta see because I was watching the Magic game, so I honestly I don't know any of the stats of this one. Um,
I mean, we'll see. I mean, Doc Rivers is known for leaving the second round, not the first. So,
yeah, that's
I
a good
mean,
point. But hey, man, you can also look at it this way: Bucks took them the distance the other night without Bobby Portis, who
yeah.
fouled out. And I'm going to be honest; I don't think he should have been ejected.
No, that was weak. That was a weak call.
I thought that was lame in the playoffs, man. Come on,
Yeah.
give me a break.
Officiating has been up and down, I think, but I mean,
Oh,
it's the
yeah.
playoffs. We want our players to get physical. We want that. We want to earn those wins. Like I'm not gonna lie, Philly won that win. Cleveland just earned that win. So we gotta see. But I think we're probably gonna end it around here because I do need some water. But I do want to get my last question in for you before because I don't know when the next show we're gonna start because I want to have this. I have this question. Who you got taking home MVP this year?
That's a good question. And who the finalists are? Who? Nikola Jokic, SGA, and Luka.
Well, the three haven't even been nominated, but
Oh, really?
I
Okay.
think those are the top three though.
The three front runners.
Yeah, because I'm personally giving it to SGA.
Yeah, I could see that, but I also think I mean the only reason why Jokic didn't win it last year, and it was stupid, was because people didn't want him to win 3 in a row, and people
Yeah.
thought that he didn't have the postseason success. It's like, yeah, you're right. Joel Embiid is just a killer in the postseason.
Yeah,
Now, obviously, he actually is playing well in the postseason over the last 2 games or 3
so
games.
Embiid is like
But before that, it's like there was always somebody else. Doc Rivers' fault, Ben Simmons' fault, this person's fault. So I always thought that was stupid.
Tyrese Maxey was clutch.
Yeah, I mean,
Had under 20 points. Let me just double check, but
I just what I'm saying is, listen, Joel Embiid, I never thought was in the postseason. I never shuddered at the thought of going against him. Okay,
my fault.
no disrespect to him. I'm sure he's a great guy and a good hang, and he seems like a good dude off the court. No drama, no issues. But 19 and 16 and 10, he had a triple double. I'll give him that.
He was trying to get those passes out. He was a good facilitator. I mean, he knew his shot wasn't going down, so he had to pass it out. But
Yeah.
I mean, like you saw, like at the end of the day, we knew it was going to come down to the co-stars is what's going to win. Our co-stars, the Knicks co-stars, have won game 1 and 2 for us because we know Jalen Brunson has not been the best, and at least in game 1 and 2, he's been good ever since. But I mean, The games that we win have been won by our role players. The game that Philly has been won by the role players. I mean, if it wasn't for like Maxey going for damn near 50, it was Embiid who had to go for 50 for them to get the win. So I mean, it's a close series. We're making it tough, but I mean, we gotta learn to close these out, man. Like we could have had one possession like lead if Josh Hart made the second free throw. We can only dream, but I think that we're tired of Philly. I think we're gonna go back to their home court and get that and take that game on the road. I think we're done with this team. I think we need to move on. I think we know that if we let them back in our house, it could be dangerous because Philly fans can travel just like the Knicks fans. New York and Philly like 100 miles away from each other. So I mean, we really gotta see what goes down to. And I apologize to the fans for talking so much about the Knicks and Sixers, but I mean, this is just a hell of a series. Like, I mean, these series have just been amazing, man.
Yeah. Yeah, no, man, I'm right there with you. It's just been such good television. Another good series has been Dallas and Clippers. Those two teams are deadlocked 2-2 apiece. We had touched on it earlier, but that one, I have no idea who's going to win that one. That's a bloodbath. And I'm trying to think. I'm glad that there's no real series that's just easy to just write off. I mean, we didn't really talk about Boston, Miami, but if Jimmy Butler was there, I'm sure we would spend 20 minutes on it because he's just such a fun player to watch.
I mean,
I'm shocked Miami has made it last as long as they did. Has Boston officially moved on?
No, I think tomorrow's the last game.
Right?
Boston
Okay.
wins. But Eric Spoelstra's just a great coach. That's why he got that extension. Like, I mean, you're without your best star, and you took the first seed a game in their home court. So that's very impressive. Eric Spoelstra, I think, is just a fantastic coach.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, he's one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah. So I mean, to take one in Boston, like when everyone doubted you, I mean, that's insane. And like that's again without Jimmy Butler. So imagine if they had Jimmy.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, I think the Celtics are going to get past this round. I think the Celtics are going to actually, I know Orlando is down. I think Orlando can steal this against Cleveland in game.
You read my mind. You read my mind. They lost by 1 point tonight.
I was just looking at that game. I'm like, you know what? Like, they're not taking them seriously. And is Jared Allen injured, I think?
Yes, he didn't play tonight. I don't know when he's coming back.
Yeah, so I mean that's tough, man. That's a tough ask. Like you're giving up a lot of boards. You already got Paulo and Franz Wagner going OD. Like this is a funny thing about them because they're the leading passers on their team in terms of assists, and neither of them are point guards. And they're doing this like just through like forward play. Like they have some of the best forwards in the East, And this is his second year leading the team in the playoffs. So again, we gotta see, man. But I mean, it's just we gotta see what happens. Like my MVP is still definitely SGA because I want to mention that I think him leading the Thunder, who are the youngest team to take the
first seed ever,
the one seed in the Western Conference, where you're versing, the Denver Nuggets, who were the past championships, and you're versing, these great teams. It's like they earned it. They said, you know what, we're going to play our guys down the stretch of the season. SGA is going to make sure we stay on home court, that we get that first seed, and they have done that. So, I mean, I give all respects to say he has led that team with a bunch of rookies, and well, not a bunch of rookies, but I mean, your starting center, your third best player, Chet Holmgren, is a rookie. You know what I mean? The coaching has been outstanding. I think that's why he definitely won Coach of the Year. I forget his name, but I mean,
Mike D'Agno.
Yeah, Mike D'Agno. I'm probably pronounced that wrong, but he deserved it.
It's a tough spelling.
Yeah. It was either him or the one from Minnesota in my books, because I think Minnesota actually made a great that coach made a great case. I really respect him because people doubted him because they were a low seed last year. Because Rudy Gobert can work on a team when you figure him out. Because again, he got 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards for a reason, if not 4.
Yeah, he might win a 4th this year.
Exactly. His 4th might be.
He's a finalist.
the Minnesota is one of the top three best defensive teams and the best defensive team in the paint. So I mean, it has been thanks to him. So we will see. But that's my thoughts on these playoffs, man. Just it's been a great series so far with all these teams. My prediction, my hope is these Knicks Timberwolves. And I got SGA as my MVP, man.
Yeah. And it's Mark Diagonal, not Mike. I made a mistake.
Oh, okay.
And Chris Finch finished third, and the dude from the Magic finished second. I just had it up. I forget his name. Jamal Mosley of Orlando finished second.
Okay.
And just credence to what you had said quickly about Tyrese Maxey's game. The duo of Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey are only the third duo in NBA postseason history to each have a 45-point game. Joel Embiid did it the other night. Tyrese Maxey did it tonight, joining the 2019 Warriors, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant, and the 1995 Phoenix Suns of Charles Barkley and Kevin Johnson.
Yeah, nice.
So this
it's in the. Oh, my fault. My mom was calling me. I'm sorry.
No, dude, it's all right.
I was trying to like warn you. My bad. But what you asked me?
I think we'll wrap it up here.
Oh, here, I'll call you right back. Well, let me call you right back. All right. But yeah, let's wrap it up. My bad.
No, dude, it's fine. It's fine. It happens.
But yeah, that was my predictions for the rest of the season for right now. It's looking like a great season.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm just excited. I hope this kind of level of intensity continues because there really have not been any bad games.
No, there have not.
There have been some bad games, but bad series, not really.
No. It's been even the Miami Boston's been interesting without Jimmy. So I mean, everything has been like even the OKC Thunder, them games been close every time. So yeah, man, we'll see what happens. But I'm Anthony Edwards. You better come to the Garden. We want you at the Garden.
that would be great TV, man. That would be great TV.
That'd get more viewers than last year's finals. That one barely got viewers.
Yeah, that was.
I didn't even watch it. I barely watched it.
I watched it closely because Jimmy Butler is my favorite player in the league, and I like Jokic and Aaron Gordon, and I like the players in that finals, but I could definitely see for a casual fan, or somebody who just only watches the playoffs, I could definitely see being not exactly enthusiastic.
No, anyway, it was just a bad matchup, but yeah, my bad. We always go late with these NBA ones. I'm a talker one. I love the NBA, so.
Oh, dude, how could you not? Especially now. This is the time of year for it. Anyway, that wraps up this show for us today. Thank you very much for tuning in. For any questions for our next episode or any other Pastimes on the Mic episodes, email us at pastimesonthemic@gmail.com. We'll be back with their answers next episode. For more content, be sure to follow Pastimes on the Mic on TikTok, X, Instagram, and YouTube. Yikes. I guess you guys could tell I am not a TikToker or TikTaker. So follow us on socials and be sure to email us any questions you have. And talk to you guys soon. Peace.
Y'all have a good night. All right. Guess so. My fault was my mom kept calling, so.
Nah, dude, it's okay. It's okay. I will say, though, I don't know if you know or don't know, you can mute yourself on StreamYard.
Oh, okay. I was going to say it like on the bottom left. Okay, bet.
Yeah. I don't know what you're doing it on or what your format is, but there is a way to do it.
No, I'm on PC. So. I didn't even notice that. Got you. Because you heard my phone ringing?
I didn't hear your phone ringing, but I saw you on the phone, so I just assumed.
My fault. Yeah. So next time I got you with that because you don't want to hear a phone call on the show, especially. But nah, I got you with that.
No, it's fine. You did good.
No, yeah, I know I get excited. Let me know if I ever talk over you again. For that.
That's fine.
Yeah, because when you were talking about like your kids, I'm like, I actually like your kid.
I love Nurkic. Like I actually like. He's one of my more well-liked players in the league. Like I like him a lot. The only thing is like you do have to be realistic about it.
No, I know what you mean.
I like him, but it's
Like I like him for
He's
the
just no
trade. I
good.
mean, because I think like DeAndre Ayton, he just I don't know, man.
Yeah, he was burnt out, but he finished this year strong in Portland, man. He averaged like 22 and 15 for the
Yeah,
last
but
month
that's
of the
like now.
season.
I hate when they do it towards garbage time. He's not even fighting for.
Yeah, it's
He's not even fighting for a playing spot. That's when I would be impressed. But I get it though. I just want him to succeed. That's where I come from with hate. I want him to
I
succeed.
like him. But
I felt so.
man,
He
I
got
remember
Phoenix. I think he got safted.
after that 2018 draft, I was in my math class. My teacher was a big sports fan. My classmates, a lot of them were big sports fans. So we're talking the day after the draft, and I'm a Suns fan. So I was like, man, I'm a Suns fan. We're going to regret not taking that Doncic kid one. And they're like, what? I said, our head coach, Igor Shrestakov, I forget the guy's last name, but
Yeah.
he was one and done with us. I said, that guy is Luka Doncic's national team coach. And I think he'll be able to find out if this kid's as good as he is. He's been playing pro since age 13. If he's that good, we could use him. It's a guard heavy league. I know we already have Booker. Bledsoe's really nothing. He's okay, but he's not great.
I was gonna say that was your starting point guard at that time.
Yeah,
Bledsoe.
Eric was not even in the league anymore. And
Yeah.
everybody said I was crazy. And unfortunately, I was right that we should have taken him 1-1 because Ayton did not pan out. And people forget, to his credit, he was suspended for 25 games that 1920 season. And people say Chris Paul came in the next year and they instantly made the playoffs. We missed by one game. And
No,
we
you
actually
gotta
had enough to
play
get
it.
in, but Portland beat, I think, Brooklyn, and they got the spot in the bubble.
Yeah.
So we really, like, Aiden had a good season for us that year when he came back from suspension. And the suspension was over some dumb shit.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he got caught with pens. It was a masker. So it's not even like, it may not have even been used for anything.
It's so stupid
So,
with like the
give me a
the
fucking
rules,
break.
but
Like
I
the
mean
all
honestly, bro, like if
like,
you if you
like
had Luka and Booker, that'd be insane.
yeah. Yeah. And I just thought because we had the national team coach that it would have made sense.
Yeah.
That he would have figured it out. He knows it better than anyone. So,
Right.
but yeah, that Aiden thing always pissed me off about him getting suspended. And I like Chris Paul a lot, but it was kind of like he was looked at as like this saving grace, where it's like, no, actually, our team was really good before it.
I mean,
So we were undefeated in the bubble.
I would have preferred Chris Paul over Bradley Beal, to be honest. I mean, well,
me too.
It depends. I gotta see how Chris Paul would have done this season on Phoenix because he didn't have a great season with Golden State, but he wasn't even starting. But now, again, like here we go talking about basketball because I gotta actually take care of my mom real quick, bro.
Yeah, dude, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
No,
I don't.
It's me. Trust me, it's me. I love basketball, bro.
Yeah, dude. Like I talk with my coworkers all the time, but like to just be able to sit down and bang out an hour of just hoops, that's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, but no, this is why I wanted to come back so soon. Yeah, man,
me too.
I'm ready. But no, I'll definitely hit you on the next one. Let me know if you guys want to do second round coverage when every team gets in the second round.
Sure.
Yeah, because I'll be free. But yeah, have a good one, bro.
Take it easy. Nice talking to you. Good seeing you.
Good seeing you too again, bro.
All right. Bye.
Good night.